Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys TGS Week 3 against Aster J and his Montreal Households. Aster is in the BBR. I mean, he's also been around the scene for a long time. Not only is he a well-known Wi-Fi guy, but he's had a ton of success on the showdown scene. This is actually the first I think I'm ever playing Aster, so I'm actually really excited. He's an awesome guy. Please go check him out in the description below. His quality is awesome. I love the way his visuals look for showdown as well. I think it adds a little bit of that Wi-Fi flair to it, so please go check him out if you haven't done so already. If you enjoy our side of TGS and hopefully watch us get our first win this week, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5,000 subs by the end of the year, and you know, it takes you subbing to help me get there, so I'd really appreciate it a ton. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into a quick little team builder. I'm going to try to keep these nice and short and concise because the showdown games have been very long, so I want to jump into these quick. Our team right above us, if you got next to Aster, who has Great Tusk, Greninja, Iron Boulder, Terra Archaludon, Ogerpon, Weezing Galar, Raikou with Terra, Moltres, Mousehold, and Alcremie. Now, biggest rush right off rip. I really struggle with long-term Great Tusk. Its dual stabs plus Ice Spinner absolutely nukes me. I don't have great ground resist outside of Rillaboom. And Rillaboom is either really pressured this game and also isn't very good into a couple of things. Greninja in the endgame really scares me. A Battle Bond set really worries me. Protean also works too because it can change into a typing that resists Grassy Glide and Thunderclap, which are my two main ways of revenging it. So that's a little bit spooky. Archaludon is really difficult for me to break with Terra. I think an AV set makes a lot of sense. Or just a Rocking 3 attack set makes a lot of sense. Raikou can be a little bit annoying with Terra, but I'm not super worried about that. I don't think it's going to come. And then the Iron Boulder is also a really scary endgame win con. I get absolutely smoked by that in the end game if it is SD booster. And then guys like Weezing are going to be obnoxious. Guys like Moltres are going to be obnoxious. And even Ogerpon setting up spikes. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. Our first Pokemon here, though, is going to be Rillaboom. Rocking out the protective pad sets, Grassy Surge, Grassy Glide, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Taunt on this set. We are pretty darn Fizz-Def, pretty much max Fizz-Def. We are Grassy Glide as a means of checking and revenging the likes of Great Tusk, Greninja, and Iron Boulder. Very physically defensive. We can check all three of them and do a lot of damage to them with Grassy Glide. Not Oko, any of them, minus maybe a Greninja, depending. I think we even still need a hazard from that, to be completely honest. But other than that, we have Knockoff to Knockoff, very obvious switch-ins like Moltres, switch-ins like Weezing in particular. Moltres doesn't matter so much because I took off the rocks I had on the team, but Weezing in particular, because I also don't think Moltres is going to come against me, to be completely honest. I think Weezing does its job much better, to be completely honest. But yeah, I also have Taunt on this thing. It seems weird. I don't really taunt much outside of the Weezing, and it's a little bit risky, right? We run the risk of being Sludge Bombed, Flamethrower, whatever it might be. But we have Taunt because I really struggle with T-Spike up, and if I can knock that thing off, Taunt, and U-Turn, I'm able to put myself in a pretty offensive and advantageous spot with our next Pokemon, and also our actual lead, and that is going to be Terra Steel, Choice Specs, Raging Bolt. We are Photosynthesis with Draco, Thunderclap, Thunderbolt, and Terra Blast here. Now, why are we Terra Steel? Originally, I was Terra Dragon, which also seems a little bit odd into Double Fairy, but those Fairy types don't really switch in. I think Alcremie is a terrible Pokemon and probably won't come here, and Weezing, in particular, does not switch into Thunderbolt. It dies to Specs Thunderbolt, and isn't ever going to be switched into something like Raging Bolt. So I was leading it very often, clicking Terra Dragon and Dracoing and killing something. But then I started running into the problem of Terra Fairy Archaludon, and I think Terra Fairy Archaludon is very likely and very likely to come in a lead slot to guarantee get off that Terra, because it allows us to soft check a ton of the things on my team, things like Blaziken a little bit better, things like Roaring Moon, really well, to be completely honest. So I really do expect it to want to get that Terra off immediately. If that's the case, I can Terra Steel and click a pretty neutral mid-ground Terra Blast. Now, if he doesn't Terra, I'm kind of not getting much out of the turn, but Terra Steel, Terra Blast still does a lot because I'm modest Choice Specs, right? On top of that, I think he's going to Terra, or I think he is going to potentially switch out, and Terra Blast is pretty darn free into this team. The other Steel resists are going to be the likes of Greninja, nuked by Thunderbolt, Moltres, nuked by Thunderbolt. So Terra Blast is actually a pretty free neutral click in a lot of instances as well. And I'm hoping this can lead off, force the Terra from the Archaludon in a switch, or force a switch, I guess is the better way of putting it, and now myself a KO pretty early, and just be a great breaker in this game, hopefully getting in on Rillaboom U-turns and things like that. Then we have Life Orb Blaziken here. This is a very, this was a tough set to come up with, man. We're Close Combat, Overheat, Vacuum Wave, and Protect. Now you see that we're actually lacking Stone Edge. I had Stone Edge for the longest time on this thing, but I was running Mach after Mach and test after test. I was theory modding it out with Kaz a ton. Thank you to Kaz for the help this week in particular. He helped a ton with this team. But we came to the conclusion that Moltres isn't great into me, right? It checks Rillaboom very well, but Weezing checks Rillaboom really well. And Moltres doesn't check Rillaboom very well in the sense that if I knock him off once, I get up rocks, it's not really a check anymore. It's kind of just dead weight, right? So you wouldn't think it would really come in that regards. And other than that, looking at my team, there's not really much that Moltres wants to come for. Maybe a physically defensive set for something like Roaring Moon, but even then, Roaring Moon could pack coverage for it. Like, I can be a Rock Slide set or something similar. So I don't really think it's going to come. And I like the Vacuum Wave priority to pick off something like Iron Boulder if it gets really low, but in particular Greninja. Greninja really worries me, and if I protect, I get faster than Greninja, I can always Vacuum Wave him. I'll prioritize his Water Shurikens and deal with him that way. I also had upper hand for a little bit on this thing over Vacuum Wave. That gives me an Oakwon Greninja, but also lacks the utility into the other Pokemon on the team that I really wanted. Or a mix set, because it does a ton of damage. Overheat Close Combat is an absolute nuke into anything not named Moltres, so yeah, that's really solid. Then we have our Roaring Moon. We are a DD Booster Energy Speed set with Knockoff, Iron Head, Acrobatics, and Dragon Dance. Again, if something like Weezing is pressured, it ends up taking a lot of damage from things like Rillaboom. I can shift that thing down to a +1 Iron Head range. This thing is very, very possible to win, especially also if something like Archaludon ends up taking a lot of chip. We really do need chip on Archaludon and Weezing for this to work, but once we do get that happening, I do think this thing can super win. Another potential stop to it is a Cobra Berry Great Tusk, but these are things that I think we can deal with, and I like having the booster speed option in the back. It's also a means of potentially revenging Greninja if I need to before it gets boosted up. I can pivot this in aggressively on it, right? Make sure I live one hit. Obviously, hopefully an Ice Beam isn't coming out, but if it's not and it doesn't kill me, obviously I can come into this thing, get the boost speed, outspeed it, and potentially threaten it with an acro depending on where it's at. So definitely a really solid one here. Then I have a weakness policy Primarina here. We are Surf, Psychic, Moonblast, and Calm Mind on this set. We are 248 HP, 184 defense, and 76 per def. I was originally going to be Draining Kiss, but you'll see in the game, I forgot to put Draining Kiss over Moonblast. This set does really, really well here. There's a lot of super effective coverage into this team that can be really, really annoying and really, really scary. But with this weakness policy, plus the screens in our last round, which we'll talk about, this thing can be very, very potent in breaking open this team and absolutely cleaving through it. Things like Ogerpon are a little annoying, but guys like Weezing, guys like Moltres, guys like Raikou, guys like Archaludon, guys like Great Tusk, Greninja, Iron Tusk, I mean, all these guys really get smoked by a Calm Mind Prim, and I'm hoping this thing can break open early for us as well, serve as a decent defensive pivot into a lot. And then we have our Sandy Shocks. We are Volt Switch, Scorching Sands, Reflect, and Light Screen with the Light Clay. This set is here to bait some burns with Scorching Sands, get some Volt Switches off, and really just Reflect and Light Screen and try and get some setup opportunities for the likes of Roaring Moon and Primarina. And then hopefully something like Blaziken can clean up, or something like Raging Bolt can clean up, something like that. This is kind of a fluid gameplay in the sense that we have a couple different paths to victory, kind of depending on what Aster's bringing. But yeah, that's going to be the team. I'll be right back with the battle. Alrighty, gang, here we are with the battle. Let me fix my dimensions a little bit. Looks like I got a little messed up. Okay, let's move it down. Alright. Okay, so leading off, I do think I immediately want to lead off with Bolt. I feel pretty comfortable leading Terra Steel. It doesn't look like the Alcremie is really going to threaten me. I'm very surprised to see the Alcremie. It's not something I expected. I am glad that I swapped off Upper Hand for Vacuum Wave on Blaziken. So I'm really glad I did that, because that would have not been good potentially. We are going to lead off with Bolt, and I think I can just Terra, and I think I can just Draco, right? He doesn't know that I'm Specs. He doesn't know that I'm Specs, right? And him switching into something like, there's going to be Spikes. He's going to take the Draco. He's going to die. He gets crit too, so he does not have any information on what I am. I immediately take out the Ogerpon, which is huge, because they do not have good Ogerpon counterplay. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, there also is a Moltres, and I'm just now realizing that. It really makes me upset that I took off the, what do you call it, too? Ugh, it's a little tough. We are going to go Rillaboom here. This isn't Balloon Tusk, which is also good to know. That means my Shocks isn't hard-walled by it. So that's nice. It looks like my Shocks is also very strong here. Offensively, it does not look very bad at all. We are going to get into Rillaboom, and I think right here I can just drop a U-turn, right? Yeah, I think I can just pop a U-turn pretty darn freely. We are going to see Moltres come out. And then from here, is it worth going Shocks? I think it's worth going Shocks. We can either pop a Scorching Sands and burn something, potentially, like the Tusk. We can also go for a Reflect. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable going for a Reflect. I think a Reflect is fine because it covers the Tusk coming in. I can even bait a burn on it after afterwards, especially if he decides to go for a headlong. Sandy Shocks. If I end up getting a Reflect Up. Do you want to see into Great Tusk? We're going to go ahead and Volt immediately. I'm not super worried about getting a Reflect Up in this thing's face. I want to chip it. I want to get hard out into my Raikou, and I want to drop a Terra Blast. I'm Choice Specs Terra Steel. This does a ridiculous amount. Yeah. I feel pretty comfortable doing so. We're Choice Specs Terra Steel. I don't think this thing can immediately threaten me at all. He is going to go for another Calm Mind, and that's Specs, so I 2-hit KO the shit out of the Calcremie. Absolutely massive. We super take that. I do a ton to the Moltres coming in. Which again, we will super take. Then from here, I think I go Prim. U-turn comes out. Not the end of the world, though. I have a Reflect Up. I can potentially Calm Mind and Draining Kiss here. So. Yeah, that's great. This has been a great start to the game. At least a great start. I could be tweaking, but yeah. Wow. Okay, so what are his potential paths here? He can go Wheezing. I can Calm Mind in that thing's face, pop a Weakness Policy, and go to town. I don't think he goes Wheezing. He can go Archaludon. How much does a Thunderbolt do to me raw? He also needs to have Archaludon. There we go. Let's see. A Thunderbolt. Let's see. Out comes the Archaludon. Oh, I forgot to fucking... Ooh. I did forget to put Draining Kiss on this thing. I had Draining Kiss originally as well. So that's a bit unfortunate. I think I am just going to Moonblast. Because he does get up his rocks. Again, not great for me. Gonna go ahead and Moonblast. We see Stealth Rock Protect. I think I can pretty freely just click Moonblast again, though. He might not have... Dude, I don't think you can fit Thunderbolt if this is the case. I'm going to Calm Mind. I don't think you have Thunderbolt. If you showed Rocks and Protect, I don't think you have the slots for it. Yeah, I really don't. We could potentially see him go for a Thunderbolt here, but would Thunderbolt 2-hit KO me? Modest Thunderbolt? It would. No, if I call... Okay, so let's say he does 56 max. 85 minus 56. Hold on, let me grab out my phone. 85 minus 56. That puts me 29. And that would kill me. Yeah, I think I just need a Moonblast. Okay, so 31 with that Moonblast. I think I go Hard Bolt again. Yep, and this thing's going to go ahead and click that. And then from here, I think I just Terra Blast again. I don't see a reason to not Terra Blast. He can go Moltres, but then he has to Roost, I guess. He takes a shit ton from it. And if I decide to Thunderbolt here, he gets nuked. So he's going to go Archaludon. He takes 42 from that, dude. That's a ridiculous amount of damage. I think what I want to do is I think I actually want to go Sandy Shocks on a Body Press. I really don't like potentially taking the Body Press. He goes for Protect. It is going to fail. I'm going to go for a Scorching Sands here. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Scorching Sands here. I could also go for a Reflect. I'm just going to go for Scorching Sands, though. I don't see a reason not to. I really wish I had some hazard pressure on this team, but it's not the end of the world. The Tusk coming in is very, very risky for him. I don't think he can afford to make that play. can also potentially reflect. He protected my face just to let me get up a free screen. I think that's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and reflect here. So, I'm going to go ahead and reflect here. I feel pretty comfortable doing so. He's Leftovers Protect, Terra Ghost. Okay. We're getting close to the point where Blaziken can pick one every time as well. I do want to calc and see what Blaziken's doing to like a max HP Moltres. I am 2-hit KOing it from here. So that's something to keep in mind. That's something to keep in mind. And then I'm gonna go ahead, and I think I'm gonna, is it worth light screening, or do I just Volt? I think I just Volt. He is gonna go ahead and recover, but I'm just gonna Terra Blast. Yeah, I'm just gonna Terra Blast. I have no reason not to. I don't really see a reason not to. I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Blast again. I have a Reflect up, so this Body Press isn't going to do anything. If he's not faster than me, then I can nuke him. He's gonna go down to 24 there. And then from here, I think I'm gonna get out into Prim. I am going to just drop a Surf, right? Or no, I can just Calm Mind. I'm gonna go ahead and just Moonblast now. That shit did nothing. That shit did nothing. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Alcremie 249. I mean, 156. I don't really do any damage. He is showing Leftovers. Am I okay with sacking this thing off? To get into something. How much is my Moon doing? I guess is the next question. Let's see. Alcremie. How much does Moonblast do? 27. That shows me he's pretty darn spadef. So that means my Moon's Iron Head does a lot. Why don't I have Draining Kiss, Owen? Why did I forget? Oh, that's tough. I think I am just gonna Calm Mind. I live another one. Just gonna go ahead and Surf. Yeah, I think I could just spam Surf until I get a crit, potentially. Nope, that's not the roll I wanted. He's gonna Calm Mind again. And I think I die here. I want a crit. I want a crit. I've decided I really want a crit. Oh, if I had Draining Kiss, I could have Draining Kissed on one of those turns too and got out of range. I'm definitely in a rough spot right now. I cannot lie. I'm definitely in a rough spot right now. Dude, I deserve a crit at this point. I deserve one. Personally, in my opinion, I think so. Okay. I think I have to go Moon. I think I have to go Moon. That sucks. I think I have to go Moon. Yeah, I don't think there's another play, unfortunately. Okay, so Weezing is going to be the pivot here. Is it worth keeping this thing around just because it's strong in general? Is it worth keeping this thing around just because it's a strong Pokemon? I don't think so. I think I'm okay getting a Flinch off. Let's go. That's massive. I'll take that, dude. I will take that. So then we kill him with Iron Head here. He has to go Tusk, potentially. Which we do have Grassy Glide to Revenge still. So that's good. You can always Acro into that guy. So yeah, very nice. Archaludon dies from here. Tusk takes a decent amount if he's offensive. Into Great Tusk. Let's say regular accurate is 44. If he's max HP, if he is not, I do 51. I will 2-hit KO him. He can't like rapid spin kill me and like speed boost kind of get me like that. So that's also good. I need to be very careful about that Alcremie. I think I almost let that thing get way out of hand and I shouldn't have. I think I almost let that thing get way out of hand and I shouldn't have. From here though, how much does this do to Moltres? If it's, I think it's more specially defensive, or it should be, right? Oh, I really regret not having Acro now. I'm gonna knock here. As he just... Is that okay? An Acro. So he's down at 47 now. He's gonna kill me with U-turn. I'm glad I didn't like D on a choke. So that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and U-turn. Yep, Moltres comes out. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and I think Volt. I really don't want the Alcremie back in. I can't let the Alcremie back in. I'm in a really tough spot if I do. So I think I need to Volt and go from there. I feel like I'm pretty close to Blaziken winning as well. Yep, so we do Volt, we get out. We're gonna get an Alcremie, and I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Blast. He's gonna sack our Chaladon, so that's one sack gone. We'll take that. This time it is going to be Moltres coming out. The Moltres is gonna be a problem, man. The Moltres is a problem, man. Ugh. Okay, so we go Shocks. He does Roost. I feel pretty comfortable just going for Scorching Sands. Because I can Volt right out into Raging from there. He's gone into Alcremie every single... Oh, no. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? That sucks, that sucks, that sucks! Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that is terrible. Okay, we're gonna have to Volt here. Unless I want to get up a light screen. I think it's better to get up a light screen. Fuck, man, I think I lose to the Moltres. I shouldn't have taken off Stone Edge. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have taken off Stone Edge. Do I even live this anymore? I don't think so. It's frustrating. Right? It's super frustrating. So I'm gonna go ahead and Volt. I'm gonna go into Raging. We do see a recover here. Do I want to Draco on a super aggressive play? Or do I want to just Terra Blast here? Is it better to just Terra Blast here? Or is it to Thunderbolt and call the Moltres? If he goes hard Tusk, he gets smoked by an attack here. This is such a scary 50-50, man. I kind of wish I wasn't Specs, because I'd feel a lot more comfortable clicking Draco. I would feel so much more comfortable clicking Draco right here. I'd feel so much more comfortable. Dude, I don't think he should... I don't think he's gonna stay in. I think he wants the Draco immunity. Is he gonna make the aggressive Tusk play now? He has not made it all game. I lose. Yeah, that's game. I lose. GG. Fuck, man. Yeah, I lose. There's no out, unfortunately. We're gonna stack off Shocks and just lose, unfortunately. There's not really an out. I'll go Bolt. I'll Terra Blast, but yeah, I think we lose. Lose Mono. Yeah, man, I don't know. I guess I overplayed. 12 plus 6. I think I do still live this hit. So I'm going to sack off Rillaboom. I'm going to go ahead and probably overheat. Oh, he's just faster. Cool. But yeah, that's game. I'm 0-3, man. I'm 0-3. I'm very frustrated. I think I overplayed and I got punished. I just thought he'd finally go Tuscan. I overplayed. I thought too much. Fuck, man. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated, but what can you do? If you're worse than your opponent, then you're gonna lose. God, I'm so frustrated. I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna go cool off. Have a good one.